Hello and welcome to another waterlogged episode of Optimal Play. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Kyle.
And we are in the pool still talking about Arkham cards.
For weeks we've been in here.
I know, right? It's been... I was so excited for the kind of like fun, prolonged reveal season of these cards, which this time FFG has really like spaced out over the course of literally months. I didn't realize that my fingers would get so pruny.
You know? We're only allowed out to get the mail to see if the card is here.
Well, I have good news for you. A card came today.
Oh my goodness. We can leave soon.
Soon. But I think this is our 5th of 6, so not yet.
All right.
Actually, that one's with Steven, so you're off the hook after this.
My fingers.
We have come full circle a little bit because remember that dilemma that we started with?
Barely, but yes.
Yeah, it's been 2 months. It was called Heed the Dream.
Yep.
And as a quick recap, it's a dilemma traded card, and it had a revelation effect when you draw it from your deck that caused you to make for everyone to contribute cards into piles, and then as a group, or I guess the player triggering it chooses which pile everyone draws. Mm-hmm. There has been another dilemma revealed. It was called Predator or Prey. Oh. It's another Survivor card. I don't remember what level it is.
Okay.
And hey, Link, we're trying to record here. Thanks, buddy. And it works similarly. It has no cost. It triggers when you draw it from your deck. Limit 2 dilemmas. When you draw it, you choose whether all enemies move 1 space towards the nearest investigator, or whether all enemies move 1 space away from the nearest investigator, including disengaging from them. It seems pretty powerful.
It seems great.
Yeah, I think so. And I think I'm confident saying now that dilemmas, we didn't know this last time, so since that was a Survivor card, and I'm holding a Survivor dilemma that we're about to talk about, that Survivors have dilemmas as kind of a mechanic of theirs, exclusive to them in this box.
I like it.
For all I know, by the time we release this video, that will be proven wrong. It seems like 3 Survivor dilemmas and no other dilemmas makes that seem likely.
Yeah.
So with that, should we get into the third...
Do it.
At least as of the time of this recording, the third dilemma.
Do it.
All right. Tell us about Nature of the Beast.
Nature of the Beast is a null-costed 1 experience event for Survivor. It is Dilemma and Insight traded. It is max 2 dilemmas per round. Also has a Revelation ability. Reveal the top 3 cards of the encounter deck. Choose an investigator to draw 1 of the revealed cards and discard the rest. Then choose an investigator to discover 1 clue at any revealed location. Okay, so it seems good? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I found that, so honestly, I think Heed the Dream is great. I would say that its reception by a lot of people in our comments and on Reddit and stuff was a little more lukewarm. People were not necessarily all that excited about it. Although I also think that we almost never play solo, and there are a lot of people who play at the lower player counts, whereas we tend to play 2, sometimes even 3 or 4. And I think it's more exciting at those player counts.
Makes sense.
And then Predator or Prey, I think, is just great. This one, yeah, hard to evaluate.
Yeah.
The obvious comparison is Drawn to the Flame, the core set Mystic card that you just draw an encounter card and then discover 2 clues. This has kind of it has several differences. You can't control when it happens, which is a big difference. Yeah. A big difference, yeah. You also
only get 1 clue.
You only get 1 clue, but did you notice that you take it from any location? That can be huge.
Oh, any revealed location.
Take it from that high shroud location with a haunted effect, you know, that one that you don't want to have to investigate, or the one that. In lower player accounts, maybe it saves you a trip there entirely if you can pluck that clue from a distance, you know?
Sure. And the reveal 3 is quite kind, I think. Like, you can use, out of the top 3 cards, being able to pick 1, you can usually deal with 1 out of 3 encounter cards.
Yeah, and remind me, since you're the one, I don't have this card in front of me, is it choose a player to draw it? Or is it
choose an investigator to draw 1 of the revealed cards. So you reveal it first, then you choose the investigator to handle it in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, so you get to look at 3 cards and then choose who has to handle 1 of them. So you have a lot of flexibility to give that willpower test to your high willpower player, or give that, pretty weak enemy to someone who's more than happy to defeat it.
Definitely.
I think that the actual downside of this is pretty light.
Yeah. No, I'd agree.
Yeah, the upside is also pretty light,
But also, like,
right.
true. But I think there is something to be said about, like, you know, in especially something like the Circle Undone, being able to mill one of those Pipers of Azathoth, like,
Yes.
you know, like mill something really bad out of the top 3 can be quite good.
What does happen to the rest? Are they discarded?
They're discarded.
Ooh, so
Yeah, so like getting rid of those Ancient Evils, getting rid of those nasty treacheries.
So as of recording this, 3 dilemmas have been revealed. I don't know if there are any more. I don't know if there are any cards that tie them together either, but 3 is a nice, like, aesthetically pleasing game design number.
Sure.
So, like, let's for a moment assume that we've now seen all the dilemmas. Kyle, what do you think of dilemmas?
I think they are fine.
Well said.
I think their effects are a little bit on the mild side, but, you know, to be expected.
Well, yeah, they cost literally like the least a card has ever cost, right? They cost less than a 0 resource cost event because those, well, most of the time still take an action to play, and this doesn't even take an action.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, so the effects obviously have to be nothing too crazy. That would have to be a yellow card to get away with that.
We're gonna get hate for that comment.
No one would rebut that.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, so it's no surprise that the effects are mild. I think that for the most part, they do have at least some effect. Like, I don't see them whiffing very often. Card drawing is good at pretty much all points of the game. And enemies are generally there, and that one does replace itself if there are literally none when you draw Predator or Prey.
Okay, that's good.
It says draw a card instead. And getting a clue is maybe the most likely one to whiff, and I think if there are like literally no clues in play or you have no need for them, you still have to draw a treachery.
Yeah, that one would hurt a little bit.
Or not a treachery, but an encounter card,
An encounter
right?
card, yeah, 1 of 3.
So, yes, that is potentially the one with the biggest downside. But I think for the most part, you'll be glad to see them. So that's been my big question on these is, and I feel like I just need to put them in my deck and get a feel for, like, am I going to feel like they came up at all the wrong times too often to where it would have just been better to put more useful things in my deck?
One consideration I have with them is something that it just kind of like popped into my head. There's like a card, I think it's yellow, not a yellow card, but one of those multi-class cards that is when you draw a token, you can like double down and try to reveal another token. And, you know, if it's a negative modifier turns to a positive modifier. I can't remember exactly what the card is.
Let me know in the comments what he's talking about.
But it was a level 0 card, and I was like, oh, I love this idea of a card, because it's like, it's going to help me get out of a hole when I'm... Oh, and it turned the skull into an auto-fail as well, that whatever that card is. And I've put it into almost every single deck that can take it, and it never makes the first cut.
It's always the first card you replace? You mean
it never makes it into the level 0 deck. I'm like, I usually build like 40-something cards and then cut down to 30.
Yeah.
And it can never make it.
And these, I could see falling victim to that a lot.
Yeah, that's kind of my first like little, oh, wait.
Yeah, because these dilemmas are probably not core to your deck.
No. And they're not super flashy.
Yeah, and they are actually all experience cards. I don't think any of them were level 0. And so it won't be in that same situation, right? It will be you weighing whether to spend your experience on them. I definitely, because I think they're fun, and I love the survivor feel of these effects that you can't control when they happen and have to make do with, like, making the best decision when they do happen. I think that's amazing, fun new toys that fit Survivor well.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely be putting them in decks.
Yes.
But whether I will feel like that was the right way to spend my experience after getting my hands on them, the jury's still out on that.
Yeah. We'll have to find out when we actually have them in not the pool.
Yeah. And maybe, I don't know if there will be a permanent card or anything that ties them together in a way,
Sure.
A permanent card that
discounts them, or when you draw one, also draw a card.
That would be great.
That would be awesome.
After resolving a dilemma, draw a card.
Yeah.
Like, I would spend a couple more experience on that, and
Definitely.
then just fill my deck with as many dilemmas as they'll let me.
Mill, just keep going.
Just draw through my deck 4 times per game.
Yeah.
Yep.
4 sanity. You have -4 sanity is like an implied permanent effect.
Well, I think that wraps it up for this reveal. Kyle, thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Brandon.
Thank you for watching. We do have one more to come. I believe this is the 5th of 6 that we're recording, completely out of order, which is why I'm losing track.
Here's hoping.
So we'd love it if you'd like this video, comment, let us know what you think. Subscribe to the channel so that you can see all of our future content in and out of the water. And thank you again to Fantasy Flight for letting us participate in these reveals. We really have fun with it. I hope that our doing this with it has not ruined our opportunity to get them in the future.
No way.
Who can say?
They're gonna just exclusively send them here now after this.
We'll find out what happens with that. And until then, be optimal.